Well, that was a movie.
Hello and welcome back to First Thoughts Podcast. I'm Simon and this is Justin, and today we're giving our first thoughts on The Drama, which is the new film by writer-director Christopher Borgli, who, if you don't recognize that name, he's most famous for, at this point, Dream Scenario. This is an A24 film, just like Dream Scenario was, and it's starring Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, as well as a couple other people in smaller roles like Elena Haim and Mamadou Athig, I'm guessing, is the pronunciation of his name. Also, Haley Gates, by the way, who I've seen around. The marketing for this film has kept it very vague and is just banking on both star power of Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, which is fair, as well as the fact that it's A24. And that's just kind of all the marketing for this film has been. It's just these two people are about to get married and then something happens. And they've kept it very vague, and I'm grateful for that because this plot is a lot of fun, and if you had known what the plot was going in, it would have been less fun, I think. A little bit, at least.
I gotta imagine it would be, because not knowing anything about the plot going in, besides that drama and marriage and the two main leads, yeah, it was a very fun twist.
Yeah, and it was most people in the audience who were surprised. Unfortunately, I had it partially spoiled ahead of time, which... Yeah. Is unavoidable if you're on Twitter.
With that way, it's kind of crazy. This isn't even like fans doing it. I can see how anyone got spoiled there. Thankfully, my Twitter just isn't nearly that tied into the movie sphere.
Yeah, that's most of my Twitter. It's film, sports, and then politics I didn't ask for. So, yeah. How we feeling, Justin?
So I gotta say, of course, like a lot of the movies we see, I had zero interest in this coming in.
You just need to be interested in more things, my dude.
I barely even hear about most of these movies. And now, of course, I did hear about this one.
What, did you want to see Mario this weekend?
I expected... Well, I forgot this was coming out today.
Yeah.
I knew this was A24, so I knew this was guaranteed.
Last year, we would have seen both of them back to back. What a weekend. What a night that would have been.
Yeah, seriously. And I would have had to finally see the first movie.
Mario?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that by myself?
Yep.
Damn. And I didn't see this one. See, man, I miss doing 2 movies a week. Life's not the same without it.
So
and now we're watching movies on Fridays. It's just, what happened to us?
Separately. Yeah. You gotta stand, I gotta sit.
We were in the same room this time, at least.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah. Eventually we'll just get like 2 showtimes at the same theater, but they're off by half an hour. So you're in 10, I'm in 2. Then you'll go to Cherry Hill, I'll go to Plymouth Meeting, and we'll meet in the middle.
Yeah, there we go.
Anyway, sorry. So you were saying?
Didn't have a crazy interest in this one going in. You know, I knew
but
there
it's
was
A24.
A marriage, there was drama. Yeah, A24 doesn't mean the same thing for me it does for you. Never will.
It should.
They make some solid movies, but like it's never gonna...
Solid?
I'm never gonna go see A24 and go, that's a must-watch in theaters. It's never gonna be me.
No A24?
I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna say no A24, but A24 itself is not gonna be.
Okay,
yeah, like
enough.
You could look at A24, not hear anything else, and go, "I'm gonna go see that in theaters."
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that is.
But
not
I also
gonna
had a million other reasons to see this too.
Yeah, and I figured we were gonna see it because
like
it was A24.
4 other reasons.
I figured I'd hear about it because it was Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, but like I also don't. You know, they're not gonna get me guaranteed to go see a movie.
Zendaya?
It's probably Zendaya. I fuck it up a lot.
I mean, I'm open to being wrong. I said Rihanna for 20 years.
I just need to hear it again, and I just don't look...
Then again, we all said Rihanna for 20 years. I don't know anybody that called her Rihanna until she told us to.
Anna just feels more natural than Anna.
Rihanna.
Anna doesn't... It's like... What do you call, like, your parents' sister?
I do say aunt.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
You're one of the very few.
I do interchange, like caramel and caramel. It depends on my mood.
But, like,
But I never say caramelized onions.
My Aunt Disa has never been Aunt Disa.
Yeah, no, Aunt Lou.
At most, you know, like...
I called her Aunt Lou.
Most, and... you know, it's kind of racial, but most white people I know do.
How dare you bring race into this? We've never once made this podcast about race.
So that's why I was like,
son of a bitch.
Rihanna just makes more sense. You know, Aunt
Or
Anna.
how about this one? Anne Hathaway prefers to be called Annie. And just everybody refuses to do that.
I never heard
Annie
that.
Hathaway? I
never heard that because like she's always credited as Anne Hathaway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I never knew she wanted to be called Annie.
Yeah, she is Annie. What are you Googling?
Settling this. It's Daya. Okay.
Yeah, I thought so, but I don't know. Zendaya.
I don't know. Somewhere along the way, I got it wrong.
I have heard Zendaya before, but I thought it was Daya.
I mean, people screw up names all the time. She's not around here to tell me her name correctly and me to actually care about that.
Did you hear recently the Trevor Etienne, the running back, just switched teams, and at his like introductory press conference at the new team, he was like, "Yeah, by the way, it's not Etienne, it's Echan or Achan or something, and there's already a running back that's name is Achan," and everybody's like, "You can't be Achan. There already is one."
Etienne it is.
we can't do this again.
Have you considered changing your last name for us?
What were we saying?
Zendaya. Yeah, and Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, I do enjoy them in most everything I see them in, but like, they're still not. There's very few actors at this point in my life that are. I see their name.
Must see TV. Yeah.
And yeah, I go, I don't care what the rest is. I will be there.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's just not.
Yeah, no, that's me too. I mean, my favorite, like, okay, that's not entirely true, but like, because there's a couple exceptions. Like, I will see Jim Carrey no matter what the movie is.
Yeah.
Even if I know it's going to be dog shit, I'm like, but Jim Carrey is going to be in it, so there's going to be at least like couple good jokes.
Yeah.
AKA Sonic 1 and 2. Sonic 3, actually okay.
Well, that was solid, but also, Shadow fanboy.
Yeah. But like, I mean, Scarlett Johansson, I love her to death. I haven't seen half of her movies because I just go, I don't want to watch that. That looks like dog shit. Sorry.
Gosh. I miss the days where, I guess I'll still do it for Leo mostly, but...
Leo picks good movies most of the time, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But
see, like Christian Bale doesn't.
Yeah.
Christian
sure.
Bale, I love him too, but he picks a lot of dog shit to be in.
Matt Damon before he started making the zoo and fracking movies.
Matt Damon was never a pull
for me. He was.
Yeah.
But mostly because I was a huge Born original
Again.
trilogy fan.
Born Again believer.
Damn straight. Anything Matt Damon in action, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then he started making We Bought a Zoo and the fracking movies, and I saw both of those, and I went,
how about
wow.
we review this movie? Crazy idea.
I was trying.
Crazy idea I just had.
I was trying.
What are we, 20 minutes into this review?
I blame that other car. You launched me down my path. But as I say, I only came to see this, of course, because you picked it. And so, I'm sitting there in the theater, and, we're not going to name names here, but I had to sit there alone in the middle of a crowd. I would have picked different seats, but whatever. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking, God, this movie really needs to get me entertained to get over this, over me not really caring about the movie, and this situation, too. And
me standing watching the movie, by the way.
Wild. But when the twist was first announced, I thought, okay, that could be good. I can see how that's going to lead to their conflict, and that will probably spiral into other things going on.
Drama.
But no, it was the main focus, and my God, did I love it to be the main focus. Mm-hmm. Boy, did this get interesting when, after the scene where they introduced it, when stuff just started having a few flashbacks and such.
Ooh.
My
Honestly,
gosh.
yeah, that was the crazy part, was the flashbacks were my favorite part.
Absolutely.
And I was like, but none of the big name actors are here, and I was like, but this is so good.
It was so interesting.
It was funny because I first added this to my list years ago when it was first announced as Christopher Borgli Untitled Project, whatever. Because I had just seen Dream Snare and I said, whatever this guy makes next, I'm there day one seeing it.
Yep.
And then when it later got announced, Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, I was like, even better, cool, I like them sometimes. And then, it just progressed from there to the point that I forgot that it was a Christopher Borgli film, because I was like, there's enough other reasons for me to want to see it that didn't sound like the main one anymore. But as the film is progressing, I'll be honest, I did it. I looked it up on IMDb because I want to add it to my list of movies I've seen in theaters list.
Yeah.
And I saw something that made me go, really? And that's, I don't know if you saw it yet, but it's got a 57% on Metacritic. And I went, oh no, because we were like 10 minutes in. And I was like, is this going to be bad and I'm going to stand over here watching this movie the whole time and it's going to be bad and I can't even complain to Justin about it. And so then I scroll down and I see Christopher Borgli. I'm like, that name does sound really familiar. So I click on it and I see that it's the writer-director of Dream Scenario. And I say, I am choosing to reject that 57% and I'm going to believe that this movie is a 10 until I'm told otherwise. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I was never told otherwise. To me, I want to give this movie a 10. I do. I really genuinely do. How far away from me are you?
10 feels wild.
It is wild, and I'm not ashamed.
I think it was going to go like 7.5.
That's probably a normal rating. I had a great fucking time, though.
I enjoyed this movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I probably enjoyed it more than Project Hail Mary. But I don't know if I enjoyed it more than Bone Temple.
A very different experience.
yeah. Well,
very different experience.
But like,
what did we give Bone Temple? An 8?
I think so.
8.5 even, maybe?
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was very, very good.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I did not expect it. And first 10, 20 minutes of the movie, I was very convinced I was not going to walk away from this thrilled. You know, I was going to say like a 6 because the acting was good or something.
Yeah, 6, but it's a chick flick, you know.
Yeah,
cute
something.
Chick flick.
Or like, it's called drama, so I'm expecting like some fights or something.
Yeah,
like, maybe it's gonna be like divorce movie or something.
Yeah.
But like, oh man,
what a fucking. That's what I'm saying though. Like, I know 10 is crazy, and I have the rule that I can't go above an 8.5 on first thoughts. I'm saying 8.5, but I'm letting you know I want to give it a 10. Because this is one of the best experiences I've had at the movies that I can remember. It was such a great experience because it was one of my favorite scripts I've ever heard or watched on screen.
Yeah.
It had one of the best ensemble casts I've ever seen, and I've been critical of a lot of people in this movie. I already mentioned Elena Haim. I've hated her and everything, but guess what? She played a character very well. Did I hate that character? Yes. But that was the point, was to hate her.
Yeah, no.
Now, Robert Pattinson, I've also often said, I like him, but he's an overactor. I think this was one of his most subtle, nuanced performances of his career, and personally, my favorite performance of his career. And Zendaya, it depends on the film. I thought she was brilliant in this as well, and also maybe one of her best performances. I mean, she was in that one movie called, like, what was it? It was just like Somebody and Somebody, and it was this, like, Netflix slow talking drama black and white movie. Didn't really like it. I reviewed that back in the day.
I didn't watch it, but I remember hearing about that.
I did not like the movie, but I thought she was brilliant in it, as well as John David Washington. The cast was great. That wasn't the problem with the movie. So aside from something like that, this is also up there as one of her best performances, and I will give this one of the highest compliments I give out, which is that while watching this movie, I was angry I didn't write it, because it's something I would have written better than I would have written it, and I'm like, you did it, you really did it. So and Bone Temple, yes, great movie. Not saying anything bad about that movie at all. I love that movie.
Right.
It's a very different experience, so it's hard to compare.
That's fair.
I just know, like, I will watch that movie again at some point and have a good time. This is a movie that I'm going to be thinking about constantly because I'm just going to be honest, it's a shoo-in to be one of my favorite movies because it's that type of movie that I just particularly like. So it's a subjective thing that I just fucking love this kind of movie, and it was... The writing's so good, dude.
It was really good.
And the acting. I mean, so I started to go down the ensemble cast thing because the leads are all great, but like we mentioned, there's flashbacks, so we see young versions of people, and the acting is good no matter who's on screen, whether it's a tiny bit part or a main character, whoever it is, they're always good. The movie's labeled as a dark comedy on IMDb. I think that's a bit of a stretch because it's barely a comedy, but when it's funny, it's hilarious. And when it needs to be dramatic, it works extremely well. I have no complaints about this movie. None.
Yeah, I guess my only thing would be that at first I thought the movie was gonna be boring, and then
Then it wasn't.
Yeah, because it's just building up, and like I can't blame it for that.
Yeah.
You gotta build to the twist, and then my God.
Yeah.
When the flashbacks start.
Oh my God. And it subverts a lot of expectations. Even with knowing what was gonna happen to a degree, I still, like, there was certain moments I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. And it plays with things that could be tropey, but does it realistically and effectively. Like, I don't want to say anything right now because it is the plot, but like there is a lot of drama amongst characters.
Yeah.
And that could be something like, oh my God, they're not communicating properly, or somebody said something or did something they shouldn't have done, and now it's coming back to bite them. And it's like, oh, here we go. No, I never felt that way. I was always like, this is great, and I wish you could have seen me, because there was times I turned and walked down the hallway because I was covering my face. Just the level of cringe that I had. And I was like, I bet he's doing the same thing.
I have my hood on because I'm sitting there in the crowd, and I just some of those scenes just
yeah, I did that, but in walking form.
Just head down.
Yeah. Oh my God, what?
Oh. Yeah, no.
Like, I'm fine with you not coming with me to attend because I know that's like crazy, but like, there's nothing to complain about this movie. There isn't. Like, and you know, even after I looked up and found out it was the Dream Scenario guy, that made me be like, fuck the critics, whatever they say, I don't care. This is gonna be good. But I was like, I still didn't expect this to be, in a way, dethroning Dream Scenario to me, because you know how much I fucking love Dream Scenario.
Yeah.
I think I gave that an 8 or 8.5. And I'm like, I feel like I'm more likely to rewatch this than that. And I already did, I watched that a couple times already. So, I don't know, man. They're both, they scratch two different parts of my brain, because they're both like quirky films in different ways. That one's much more overtly quirky with the whole Nicolas Cage and the weird, surreal plot. This isn't, everything that happens in this is very believable, like it could happen.
Yeah.
Dream Scenario is, of course, not that way. And it's also much more overt in its commentary. This one's just like, there's commentary, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just people talking, not just like, here, allegory. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I want to get into spoilers as soon as possible because I just want to talk about this movie. Got anything else you want to add first?
If you don't know the twist,
Ooh, lucky you.
Don't find out. Go see the movie.
Yes. And that's not me saying it. You're actually
far more interesting than I would have expected.
Go to the theater. You don't do that. I do that. You're telling them to go?
Hey, listen, I'm not saying
buy a ticket?
I'm not saying they shouldn't go see movies.
Support
it's just
your local theater?
How many movies do we see that I think would be worth it to go see if we didn't have the AMC plan and we weren't reviewing them?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Not a lot of movies. This is one of them.
Yeah. So, he said it, not me.
Yeah.
I'll say it too, but he said it. So, yeah, whatever number, it was a very good movie. And
yeah,
we're
7.5 is fine.
completely agreeing on it being very good.
It might go up after another rewatch, but I have to do it eventually. I have some friends who I still haven't shown Dream Scenario to, so I guess I might start with that. But maybe I'll work them through both these.
Yeah, it is interesting because like I could see how the same writer-director could make both movies, but it's not like they felt similar really in any way. They're very different movies. I
had no idea it was the same guy until you told me as we were leaving.
Yeah,
so.
It's not like you would notice me like, they did the same thing he did before. It's like not really. Very
completely different.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some similarities in, writing or tone or something in the bit, but
maybe
wildly different.
I thought of maybe one tiny nitpick, but it's not. I don't know if it's making me change my rating because I'm like, it's just a character acting a certain way. But anyway, we're gonna get into spoilers now. That'll be the first spoiler I talk about, just so we can get it out of the way. But anyway, if you don't want anything spoiled, you should go watch it. Go see it.
Yeah, this is one where it matters. Get there before the spoilers hit.
Yes, because it will happen fast. This theater was the most packed I've ever seen a fucking theater, man.
That was insane. Like I know these actors are popular. And I know,
we normally go
romance
on Thursdays.
movies are somewhat popular. And yeah, this is a Friday premiere.
Yeah.
But my gosh, it was everything but the worst seats in the theater.
Yeah, the front row had people taking.
Yeah, like half of A was gone.
Yeah, insane. So anyway, yeah, go see it, and then you can come back and we can talk about it then. But don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, and follow us on TikTok, where we post sometimes. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. So, spoilers. The one thing that the one time I had any critical thought while watching it was when Robert Pattinson was talking to his coworker. I forget her name, but the coworker he ends up almost fucking.
It's like Misha or something?
Yeah, Misha. Yeah. One could complain that it was clearly a woman written by a man. I think some may have that complaint. But when the movie's this good, I say to myself, then the character just is that way. So she's just a weird bitch. And that's okay.
Listen. She cheated once before, and she's willing to go down that route again.
Right, absolutely. And so it's like...
She wasn't asking for it, but she was willing to go explore it.
And that's where you can't, you have to, take away, it's like... We're not CinemaSins here. We're not ding, written by a man, because this movie isn't claiming all women act like that. It is this one woman right now is acting that way, and she happens to be very stereotypical.
Yeah.
Where she was dating a really nice guy who was too nice, so she cheated on him with a guy that was mean to her.
And who had better sex.
And he was older. So it's all these things that you're like, man, that's stereotypical.
Yep.
Man, that's... Ugh. Don't know how I feel about that scene. But it's but when the rest of the movie's good, I just kind of if that scene's in a bad movie, you laugh, because, it's horribly written. But if it's in a good movie, you go, okay, well, they're clearly making a great movie outside of that moment, so that moment's written that way for a reason. I give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not fair, but I will, because if outside of that movie, or outside of that scene, the rest of the movie is perfect, why would that one scene be so dramatically bad by comparison?
Hey, man.
So I think it's just a weird person.
You gotta find a reason to chop off a star.
I don't wanna.
That's really what being a critic is about.
No, it's not. Being a critic is about watching things and enjoying things. You're disappointed when it's bad. You should be, anyway. You're supposed to be discovering things you like. Literally, that's the only possible complaint I can come up with this movie, though, for me. I really love the rest of that scene, though, because it was a fun moment where, okay, so if you haven't seen it and you're sticking around anyway, we should say the plot. So, Zendaya and Robert Pattinson are about to have their wedding. They're a week away from their wedding, so they're finishing up some very last-minute things that they should have already have done by now, like picking the food and wine selections for the, after party or reception. And so they're there with, I assume, the maid of honor and best man. They never specify that as the best man, but he's doing all the best man shit.
He has to be the best man.
He has to be, yeah. Also, they had to give Robert Pattinson a black best friend to show that he's not just, fetishizing black people. He also just is friends with them. And I was like, that's funny. Anyway, so they're just there, chilling, drinking wine, eating food, and drinking too much wine. They're on, at least their third bottle. You see her take away 2. You don't know how many others she's taken away.
Right.
And so then they start having a drunk conversation, as you do, about what is the worst thing you've ever done in your life. And it starts with, whatever the guy's name is, Mike, I think, who reveals that he once was with a girl in, what was it, Brazil, Mexico?
I can't remember.
Puerto Rico, somewhere, some other country, and a stray dog attacks her, and he hid behind her and quote-unquote used her as a human shield. And you're laughing and you're like, okay, that's pretty shitty, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Okay. And then his wife or girlfriend or whatever they are, I think they're married,
seems like it,
tells the story of how she locked a slow kid in a closet in the middle of the woods and then ran away and told nobody.
For over a day.
Yeah. And you're like, oh my god, this is the worst person I've ever seen on screen. Hitler who? Fuck this bitch. I already hate the actor. Not really, but don't like her. and you're making this the least likable character I've ever seen. How is this gonna flip? And then so it goes to Robert Pattinson, and he can't come up with anything, so seemingly almost lies. Maybe he actually did it, maybe not. It kind of comes across like a lie. And he's like, oh, I cyberbullied a kid one time. And they're like, and he's like, so he moved because you bullied him? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. So then they go to Zendaya, and she's like, I was almost a school shooter. And that had already unfortunately been spoiled for me, so that wasn't a surprise. But like, from that point on, I still had no idea where this story was gonna go.
No.
So, of course then, the worst woman you've ever heard or met in your life hates her more for that, and I'm like, okay. But she didn't do it. She almost did it.
Almost did it, but there's a very specific reason that
she had a cousin who got shot in
Yeah.
a mass shooting.
and is paralyzed now.
And is paralyzed. Not dead, paralyzed.
Yes.
And so, sure, it's kind of understandable, but this movie then becomes kind of a fun back and forth on what makes you evil. You know, is thinking about doing something evil, or if you didn't do it, are you evil? And what's the reason you didn't do it? Was it just not convenient? Or, like, did you get a flat tire on your way to work when you were going to attack people kind of thing? Or, in this case specifically, Zendaya's character was planning to do it, but then a different school, or not a school shooting, a mass shooting at a mall happened the same day. And so then she went, shit, now I can't do it, because she's kind of doing it for attention more than anything, because then it becomes also commentary on how it's just talked about so much in this country that it kind of encourages people who are mentally unstable to do it because it's just out there all the time. And God, what a fun conversation that was. I really fucking enjoyed the conversation. It also then ties back into the fact that, like, Robert Pattinson kind of cheats, but, like, stops before he actually cheats, is, I think, how some people would say it. I think making out counts as cheating.
I mean,
but, like,
but making out, ripping her shirt off, spinning her around,
but then stopping before they
lifting
have
up her skirt, pulling down the panties, trying to whip
it. She didn't have panties.
Oh yeah, true. Whip it, pulling to the side, pushing some shit aside, trying to whip it out, and then stopping.
He didn't try to. He went to and then stopped. But my point being, there was an intentional correlation there. There was an intentional correlation there, which I don't entirely agree with, because, like I said, I count that as cheating. But a lot of people would say, but he stopped before he did it, which is like, that's the equivalent of, like, having the gun, making the plan, and going to the school.
Which I disagree with completely. And
then not doing it. But so it is an interesting comparison.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the way you really show that would have been exciting in the movie or would have worked in time.
Right, you can't, like...
But it's like...
Well, I guess you could possibly be like, I'm gonna go cheat with her.
It's gonna be longer, it's gonna be worse, it's not gonna be as exciting in the moment or lead to as much drama. But yeah, it's definitely he has to be interested in her and thinking about it a lot, almost obsessively, and then going to do it and then stopping before he ever makes any physical contact, even maybe seeing her.
Yeah, which would make it, in a way, even worse, because in this, he didn't have any feelings for her. He was doing it because he was having, like, a panic attack, breakdown thing. But there's no prior history there that we know of.
No,
like, it wasn't premeditated.
It's literally just in the moments.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he considered it at all until she brought up that she had cheated, and then he's having his freakouts. Yeah. And then he's just like, okay.
I also love how every time she told the story, it became less and less her fault. Not saying it was her fault, but, like, it just kept becoming more and more. Like, at first was just like, he came on to me, I was just being nice to him. And then she's telling her boyfriend, whoever, and he's like, he sexually assaulted me now. It's like, it just keeps becoming more and more a different story.
He kissed me. It's like, well, no, I said, I said stop and don't, and stop, don't do this, and no, and...
Yeah, I really loved that. That was fun. I mean, it is so well written. It really is. And so it becomes such a fun story on... or commentary on, like I said, what makes somebody evil? Is it the intent? Is it the actual doing? Is it the forethought? Is it the in the moment decisions? what makes a person evil or not, and it gets into that and then kind of ends up not really giving much of an answer and just saying, hey, everybody's fucked up, which is a fun conclusion. I don't think they ever really fully satisfy the audience with an answer of what makes you evil or not, though.
I don't know that the movie necessarily had its own opinion on it.
Yeah.
I did feel like the characters themselves at least had to accept that who they are now isn't these things that they've done or planned in the past, and that they can be who they want to be now together.
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit harder with the parents nowadays, but
yeah. Yeah, I think I agree where it's just like, because a running theme throughout is the, like, can we start over? Yeah. So in the first scene, he goes and he sees her at the coffee shop, whatever it is, and he tries to hit on her, but she's deaf in one ear, so she doesn't even hear it. So then by the time she notices him, he's like fumbling and bumbling, going like, I'm not trying to flirt, I was talking about a book. And she goes, what are you talking about? And he's like, what? And she's like, I couldn't hear you. And he's like, oh. He's like, do you want to start over? And he goes, okay. And so he goes back and sits down, then gets up and comes back over. And then later it's called back again when, like, they're like, he's trying to have sex, they're trying to have sex, and then he's just like mentally out of it because he's still freaking out.
Right.
So then they go, can we start over? So they like kind of like role play just meeting for the first time. And then the movie finally wraps up at the very end by doing it again, where it's just symbolizing like, we're just starting over. Like, there's so much shit in everybody's past, and you just kind of like, if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you have to be willing to put shit aside.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be an almost school shooter.
No,
but
that's
this podcast is not making it onto Apple, is it?
I have to bleep some things.
But anyway, it's just the willingness to be like, hey, we were different people then than we are now. Even if it's a mistake from yesterday, we're able to kind of just pick ourselves up and start over and be different now. And that's a fun story. That's a fun message.
Yeah.
I think also, too, it was reminiscent of Eddington in the way that it kind of shows how, like, we could very easily become one person or the other. They even referenced something else I didn't get the reference to, but they were like, one guy tried to join the French Foreign Legion, but they rejected him, so he joined the Nazis. I don't know what movie they were referencing because I haven't seen it.
I don't know the movie either, but I guess.
But it reminded me of an Eddington when the one guy gets into like a liberal group because of a girl, and then the girl kind of spurns him, so then he goes extremely far right. And so this was kind of like a similar thing where it's like the littlest decisions completely change your trajectory. Like, she was almost this murderer, but then because it didn't happen, then she ended up joining this group that was like really into political activism.
Yeah. And
that completely shaped her life from there. And she got friends, which she didn't have before. And she, like, as she put it, she was like, it felt like waking up from a bad nightmare. And it's like, the bad things you do don't have to then, or almost do, don't have to define you. You can change and become a different person. And so it's like, that all was so much fun too.
Yeah, that was a really interesting twist on it of why didn't you?
Yeah.
She finally had the friends that she wanted after moving away. People seemingly stopped bullying her as much. Mm-hmm. Got a whole group of friends that did things, even if it's political activism. She's got to throw herself into that.
Yeah.
Didn't feel the pain and the loneliness anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a pretty valid reason to stop.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things most people do in life are simply because it's the group they fell into at a young age, and that can shape your identity. And I mean, some people, like, then they'll redefine when they go to college or whatever, but so much of who you are is just who you're around at a young age, at a impressionable age.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I find that fascinating. I find that a lot of fun. I thought this was extremely well written. I thought even in the rom-com-y moments that you were dreading so much, I thought it was really funny and cute. I mean, the ending, too. I wasn't expecting the ending. I had no idea what the ending was going to be.
When she walked in, I was pretty sure where it was going, where it went.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I had no clue.
Yeah, because it had one of my favorite shots in recent history where, so, like, long story short, he goes home after the disastrous wedding. She had left, so he doesn't know where she is. So he goes home, and she's not there. So he fumbles around for a little bit and then goes, oh, she said she wanted to go to this diner on the wedding night, so I'll go there. So he goes there. She's not there either. And so he gets a hamburger and a Coke and sits down. And it does this shot where it shows the front door, and you're just waiting for her to walk in, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was one of my favorite decisions I've seen in recent film. I was just like, that was so good. Like, that to me is up there with Taxi Driver when the fucking camera moves away while he's still on the phone. I was just like, that was amazing to me. And then eventually she does actually come in. But at that point, I didn't know anymore because I'm like, of course she's going to show up. But then when you do that shot and she doesn't come in, I'm like, I don't know, it's 8:24.
Well, as soon as she walked in,
yeah,
for a split second, I think he like maybe reaches out to her at some point.
He tries to like say something and she just passes right by.
Yeah. Until he moved to say something, I was very convinced she was in his head.
That's
and then as soon as he moved, I went, oh, okay, I see where this is going now.
I didn't think that, but this movie does do that. And it's a very confusing movie if you're not ready for artsy stuff, because multiple times it just shows something that's not actually happening. Yeah. Like, because she has this worry fantasy about that he's going to go tell on her to his best friend and like, oh, we need to call the cops on her. She's insane. We're going to get rid of her. And so then when he comes back, she's like looking at him like, did he actually do that? And then he's like waiting for her to say, it was all a joke, and then they laugh about it and then make out. And so it was like, when you're watching that, you're like, is any of this happening? What is happening? And it's fun. It's fun that they do that. Also, the editing was fun where it's like, a lesser editor would have been stuck between two choices where they're like, do I want to show the fight where he gets headbutted by the guy? Or do I want to have the gag of he walks up to him, heart cut to him with a broken nose and fucked up face? And they did both, because they did the hard cut gag and then he has a flashback 5 minutes later to the fight. I'm like, that was great editing that they were able to do both and not sacrifice one for the other. And I was like, very well made movie. A very well made movie.
Yeah. I have to say, when it was when they were in that scene and they were going around saying the worst things they ever done.
Yeah.
These are some lopsided worst things. The people are lying their asses off here. Except for the two women. They're telling the truth. I locked a mentally handicapped kid in the closet and I planned a school shooting. All right.
Hey, using your girlfriend as a human shield.
That's the worst thing.
It could be. That's pretty shitty.
That's pretty shitty, but that's the worst thing. Come on.
I don't know. Have you done something worse than that? I don't know that I have.
Probably. We give me a while to think about it.
That was a funny thing, too, by the way, was like when he asks the girl that he ends up cheating on Zendaya with, like 2 seconds later, he asks her, what's the worst thing you ever did? And she goes, cheating. And he goes like, that's it? And then that's what he does. I was like, that was some fun foreshadowing.
Hey, what's a little cheating compared to planning a school shooting?
They're both pretty bad. But I would say school shooting's worse. But then the question is, what's worse? Planning a school shooting or actually cheating? That becomes a little tougher of a question.
Yeah. And then we got to ask, what degree of cheating is right. higher than planning a school shooting?
Yes. At what level?
Full penetration? Tongue penetration?
I also love this, like, because he doesn't just like rip open her shirt. He rips open her shirt, and then so she's like trying to tuck it back in, going around picking up the buttons, and then she walks out going like, "Fucking rip my shirt!"
I can't believe you ripped my shirt.
Like, I love that. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, just her unfazed.
Yeah.
Just
her ass is still out, and she's just like, "Yep."
Yeah.
Just listening to him cry.
Just kissed, torn. Spun around, bent over, gives up, and it's just like,
she's just there then. Waiting, and then he starts crying, and she's like, "Yep."
Guess this ain't happening.
Fair enough. But no, the scene that made me walk away for a second was so Zendaya's in the bathroom, and she hears something about school shooting happen because Robert Pattinson had talked to this woman about this hypothetical.
Right.
Hypothetical. She thinks that Rachel told them about this, and she's like, oh my god, now who knows now? If she told her, who else is she telling? And so then she goes to Robert Pattinson and is freaking out, and he's like, don't freak out, it's fine. No, I didn't tell anybody, of course. And she's like, well, you need to go get her so we can talk about this. And he's like, no. And she's like, then I'm getting her. So she drags her back in, and she's like, okay. I just need to say, he kissed me. And that's when I was like, ugh. I just walked away. I was like, oh my god. And then, yeah, that scene was so good. Because, like, that's one of those moments I was referring to. I was like, this could be really cliche and tropey. But it was too realistic to be, because it's like you have three people who all know different amounts of what's going on, and they're all talking about something different. She
got dragged into a back room at the wedding with just the two of them,
and you just made out with the guy and almost fucked them, so you're like, of course that's what this is about.
Hey, but he came on to her, so listen, I get it. Starts spilling the beans. It was him, because it was him. And I was just trying to help him. Because he was freaking out. Because he was.
Just trying to make him feel better, and I guess he just took it way wrong.
Listen, I just said I cheated in the past. I didn't say I was going to cheat again.
Nah, man. This was a really good movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I also enjoyed all the gun references. Dude, I had just talked to my boss about this today, about how funny it is to like talk to people about like, we're gonna shoot this, then we're gonna shoot that, we're gonna go over him, we're gonna shoot Tim over here, then we've got a thing with Leanne, we need to shoot her. And so then it was like, all right, so first we're gonna shoot your mom and dad, then we're gonna shoot, do you have any siblings? No. Okay, so then we'll shoot your parents, we'll shoot your grandparents. I don't think they can make it. Oh, why not? It's just art of travel. Okay, well, we'll shoot you together. I was just like,
we'll shoot you all again.
It was so fucking
people
funny.
Were dying in the audience.
So funny. Oh man, I love that. Also, the photographer used one of my lines when there's like a couple being a little awkward. I always say like, all right, act like you like each other. And so she said not quite that, but it was adjacent. She's like, you're the love of each other's lives, remember? Come on.
Act like you know each other for a long time. You love each other dearly. Can we get a real smile over here?
And then he looks at the other girl, which like then makes him like nervous or something. So then he smiles, and she's like, "There's a real smile."
Finally got the eye movement in there. It's just all nerves.
But yeah, all the gun stuff. Like he's got a mug that's like, "No coffee, then shoot me" or something. I forget what exactly, but something like that.
Yeah, it was like, give me coffee or I'll shoot or something like that.
Yeah, and then like there's a photo on the fridge or something, and it's of them, and she's like going like this at him. It's just like, oh, I love that. And then also, speaking of like the fantasy, I guess this was more memories or whatever, but like after, she's like, that's not me anymore. I've never been violent to anybody. What are you talking about? So then he, for the next scene, keeps having little flashbacks, like they're having sex and she starts slapping him, and he's just like, And then it's like they're crossing a crosswalk and almost get hit by a car, and she's kicking the car and screaming. He's like, I was just like, this is so good. I love this so much. Maybe this movie is a comedy. I mean, it definitely is.
It has its moments. It just doesn't feel like it through most
a lot
of the
it.
film.
Yeah.
Those high school flashbacks. Just everything. Like, that is the greatest thing. Because, like, when it was introduced in that scene where they're drinking and talking about the worst things they've ever done, I did not think that the school... I mean, I figured that would be a big thing that would lead to the arguments that they would have, but I did not think it would be, like, the sole main focus of the movie. Just, I thought it would, like, be the thing that opens up all the rest of the cracks in their relationship. And then you see the flashback. Her shooting the gun and deafening herself. Her hiding it. Oh my gosh. The fucking Why I Did It manifesto videos.
Oh my God, yes. Then she gets like you need to update your computer right now.
Like, this webcam needs to be updated right now to continue. Okay, fine.
Okay, so, and then blue screen.
Oh my God. I was trying not to lose it because I'm sitting next to a bunch of strangers and in between them.
Oh, I was losing.
And they had to move their shit.
So were a lot of people.
It was hilarious, but I would if it was just the two of us in like row B again, it would have just been jumping up.
Each other, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That would have been the fucking when we were watching the fucking AI movie.
Yeah.
When they started talking about like school shootings.
Yep.
School shootings really get us, you know. They're just the funniest thing.
We're desensitized.
The two funniest things this year so far have been school shooting related.
It's not our fault. It's America, as this movie pointed out.
Yeah, it's like, so you're blaming America?
Kinda.
And then he's like, Mike was raised around guns and he's terrified of them. And he's like, no, I wasn't. My dad was a cop, and I'm not afraid of them. Why did you say that?
If she didn't know his dad was a cop, because like when she said that, my immediate first instinct was, is she saying he's black and grew up in the hood? Well, you know, in the ghetto, you grew up around. I bet you saw a few of them on the corner. You picked it up, you fired it. Of course, you fired it to the side like this. You know how you people do.
Yeah. It was also because it was fun too, where like, because that's one of a couple of examples of people who just straight lying to have a better story to make their point. Like when when Robert Pattinson is trying to defend Zendaya, he thinks it's like, oh, maybe it's trauma from your friend dying. She's like, I didn't know her, I didn't see it. And so then he's like telling the story to them, like, oh, it was her best friend. She was right there. She saw it. Nobody ever tried to give her therapy. She was scarred for life.
But then we get the freaking fake flashbacks to her witnessing it, and the brains pouring out or whatever.
Hair is stuck to the windshield.
Her depressed by the pond about the friend. Oh my god.
Oh, that was so good.
I don't know if I've ever seen a movie where the flashbacks are the best part.
Yeah, that is weird. I love this stuff.
Oh
it's so good.
They killed me, every one of them.
Yeah, I know he had some interesting reactions. I think I would have reacted very similarly to Robert Pattinson.
I don't mind most of his reactions up until he started up until we got to the wedding and with the one woman.
Yeah, I'm not saying I agree, but I understand.
It's understandable.
Yeah, I probably would have reacted very, very similarly.
Yeah, I don't know that you could hear that and immediately go back to everything's normal.
Yeah. No.
But I don't think that would be the deal breaker for me. Like I said, I think that would be, we need to postpone this wedding and we need to like take this relationship back a couple steps.
Yeah.
And just rebuild from here.
Maybe
not the whole restart that they did, but I like the effort they made there.
Yeah, I think I would have taken similar steps as Robert Pattinson of just trying to figure out the why and the how, because that's why it matters so much. Like, or that's the why. Yeah, but then, that's what matters.
After you find out the why and the how.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
like you have to accept that, but you don't have to. Let's stay getting married in a week or however. I couldn't really tell the passage of time in this. It felt very quick.
It was a week throughout the movie, yeah. And so it started out being about a week away. By the time he was cheating on her, I think it was Friday. Yeah. I think it was the day before the wedding.
It seemed very, very close.
Which, at that point, just fucking, why are you working the day before your wedding? Take the day off.
Oh, yeah, true.
But anyway, just a fucking good movie, man. So good. Like, I don't have complaints. I don't have criticisms other than some characters were weird or unlikable, and that's like...
No, but I mean, if...
People are weird and unlikable. So.
Yeah, if that's the intention with your characters, I never mind that.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Nisha acted like a man wrote her. And I'm like, but some people do.
Well, he treated me like shit, but... the sex was
it,
better.
So, yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I just said it was.
Dude, I forgot about her best line, though. So when it does the quick cut back to him headbutting him and breaking his nose, and then it cuts to her grabbing it like, with your words! Use your words! I love that. That was so fucking funny. Oh, and then also, we started to talk about the scene in the diner at the end, which was like, to me... surprisingly cute. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as cute as it was, and I'm almost like starting to tear up. I'm like, this is so well done and cute. And then it takes a hard turn into comedy when she's like, so how'd you face get like that? He was like, "Oh, I stopped a robbery, or I tried to stop a robbery." And she's like, "Oh, wow, really?" And he's like, "Yeah, a lady, a man tried to steal a baby from a lady." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, he said he was gonna eat it, so I had to do something." And she's like, a lady walking a baby at this time of night is a weird choice." And he's like, "Yeah."
Thought it was strange too, but
That was so funny. Yeah. I love that moment.
But hey, listen, it all ties back. He started flirting with her with a lie. Mm-hmm. If we're gonna start over, might as well keep it another lie.
Yeah, I love that too.
But yeah, as soon as I realized she was real and in that diner, I knew it was time to restart.
It was funny because
wasn't sure how they were gonna get there, but I knew it was time.
We just watched a movie with Robert Pattinson and a very famous hot actress we both like, trying to get married and having a really bad experience. That movie had a very different ending, and so I was just ingrained in my head. I'm like, are we doing that again? Is she going to just disappear forever, or something awful is going to happen and Robert Pattinson's going to be depressed at the end of another movie? I was thinking we might go there. What was that movie called? Die My Love. That movie was crazy too. All right, we're gonna end it there. We both really enjoyed this movie. It's a movie I can't wait to watch again. I don't see movies in theaters twice that often anymore. I may see this again if I can find time on my schedule. I really enjoyed this. It was good. It was extremely well written. Like I keep saying, I don't have complaints about it. Can't recommend it enough. It's not going to be for everybody. I think this movie, wow, pun intended, I guess, should come with a trigger warning. Because some people will think it's really insensitive. I don't think it is. But I mean, if you've got trauma related to the subject matter, then maybe it's just not for you.
See, that's the thing with trigger warnings for something when the sensitive subject material is kind of a surprise.
Yeah,
because that's just going to kill the surprise.
It's tough. It really is.
You can't what's the trigger warning? Because it can't be school shootings or gun violence, because all we know about this movie is it's a relationship drama movie.
Yeah.
So
that's tough. It really is tough.
Triggering content, I guess.
I don't know.
Because at that point, I feel like people are going to say relationship and think sexual assault or something.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know how you do that. I really don't know how you do that. That's not my job. I don't have to worry about it. But anyway, if you're not in that category, go see it, I guess. I really enjoyed it, and I think it needs more eyes on it, and it needs more critics to review it positively, because the 60%, granted it's gone up 3 points since we first checked, that's good. It needs to be up a lot higher than that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thumbs up. That's 2 thumbs up.
Hey, yo.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.